Dad, are you still working? Because today should be the day you finish that business trip and come home, right? I wanted to ask if I'm really your kid. I'm your kid, right? No matter how I think about it, I believe I'm yours, but...
Abby? What's going on? Why are you asking me something like that?
Mom's friend, Mrs. Bauer, is saying some weird things to me.
Mrs. Bauer? Is she the really strangely dressed woman who lives on the first floor of the apartment complex?
That's her.
What all has she said to you?
She told me that I'm not actually your daughter.
Ah,
She's wrong about that, right? I'm related to you by blood, making me your real daughter, right?
of course you're my daughter. I've spoken to you before about how your mother, who passed away long ago, your real mother, had you while her and I were together, right?
You did.
Mrs. Bauer wasn't even around during those times, so I'm not sure what all she's talking about. And it's not like she's close to our family anyway, so she really needs to mind her own business. Perhaps she's mistaking you for someone else's kid?
That's what I think. Thank goodness you think the same thing.
But why would that person ever say anything like that to you? Later on, I'll have to talk with her about that and explain everything to her so that she doesn't say those same things about you again.
About Mom?
Huh?
She was crying really badly, saying that she needed to stop all of this strange talk about us before it started to spread to everyone. And then she ran off.
Do you think she went to go and talk with Mrs. Bauer?
I think so. She's already there now, I think.
I see.
I think everything will be fine, though.
A lot of the people in this apartment complex have been here a long time with us and know about what happened. Mrs. Bauer and her family only moved here half a year ago, so I hadn't gotten around to explaining anything to her about us, but I probably have to now. I just didn't want to bother her and her family yet.
I see.
Now that I think about it, when she came to our room with her husband to introduce themselves, we traded phone numbers.
You did?
She told me that she wanted to have everyone who lives in this apartment complex's number in case there's ever an emergency. So that's the only reason we exchanged phone numbers then. I've never talked with her or anything, over the phone or with text, though.
You never really have a reason to, so I don't blame you for not talking to her or her husband.
I'm a bit worried about your mom right now since she ran off to Mrs. Bauer's place. Right now, I'm getting on the plane to fly back home to you both. There will be Wi-Fi on the plane so you can text me if anything happens while I'm on my way home. All right?
All right. Thank you, Dad. Excuse me, but this is Abby's father, Beau, who I'm texting right now.
What?
My name is Rebecca, and I'm currently living in room 105 of our apartment building.
Ah, nice to meet you again. Are you wanting to talk about my daughter then, and that's why you're texting me now?
That's right. So you must have heard about things from her already?
That's correct. Just a little bit ago, her and I were talking with one another about it. I'm not really sure where all the confusion about things had started, but my daughter is 100% related to me by blood, and I have her birth certificate and everything to prove just that. I'd like it if you'd please stop saying such strange things to her from here on out.
Are you kidding me? You have still not noticed anything about this yet?
What are you talking about?
I wonder what I could be talking about. Could you please let your wife know about this for me? If you don't, and I start to get all upset here, then I can have my brother and all his old friends come out to your apartment and make you wish you'd just accepted the truth.
Excuse me?
In the past, I was involved with a lot of street gangs, all right? My older brother was the head of one of those gangs, and if you piss me off, you'll be pissing him off, and things will get scary. Dad, there's an emergency.
What's happened?
Mom came back home and her cheek is all bruised and swollen.
What?
She told me that Mrs. Bauer punched her in the face.
She punched your mom?
She didn't listen to anything Mom was trying to say, and then she punched Mom to get her to shut up. I'm helping her put ice on her cheek right now, but it looks like the inside of her mouth is all cut up. What
the hell?
We should go to the hospital, right? Because the bleeding isn't stopping from her mouth.
Yes, please, go there.
All right, I'll go and let the old man next door know about what's happened, and we need to leave.
Good idea. When you get to the hospital, make sure to let the doctor know that Mom was assaulted and that a police report and everything needs to be made up. Once your mom's mouth has been taken care of, head to Grandma and Grandpa's house and stay there.
Okay.
Please, take good care of your mom for me.
All right. Listen, bud. Don't be ghosting me like that right in the middle of our discussion.
Sorry, there was an emergency that came up, and so I had to focus all of my attention on that for a bit.
An emergency?
Right now, I'm on my way to go see my wife who got punched in the cheek by you. Tell me, what was all that about?
I did that because she was asking to take a knuckles sandwich to her left cheek. That woman? She has balls of steel showing up at my door again like that, whining about things. And you, Bo. You need to get real with me and stop playing around.
What are you talking about right now?
I am talking about the secret of Abby's birth. Abby is really my husband's daughter, and we all should know that by now. You are not her real dad, and I want her to stop calling you that. Hence why I told her the truth. In other words, this all happened years ago, about a year before Abby was born, where your wife was with my husband cheating on the both of us. But before things could be handled, your wife married you, and then she had Abby, and you took the position of being her father. And I have hated you ever since because you never noticed that your wife had cheated on you with my man.
Listen to this then, Rebecca. My wife has never been pregnant while she's been with me.
What?
Her and I only started dating about 4 years ago, and 2 years ago we got married. This was her first time getting married, and I got married to her, bringing my daughter Abby along with me. This is my second time being married now.
Huh?
That means Abby is still related to me by blood because my previous wife gave birth to her after we tried for so long to have a baby, and my current wife is like her stepmother.
Stepmother?
This might be a little bit of a sidetrack, but if you take my daughter's age of 15 and add 1 year to it, that would be 16 years ago. But at that time, I was with Abby's real mother, and we were happily married to one another. I was never going out with my current wife then, so I cannot speak for whatever she was up to.
What? Huh? Abby, she's 15 years old?
That's correct.
What? But she was telling me all about how she had this test she was taking at the local elementary school before she graduated from there.
She was only taking her 8th grade exams at the elementary school because her middle school is having some construction done, and that would distract the students. After the exam, she'll be graduating from there and going to high school.
Huh? Oh, so she's not going into middle school?
Did you think that she was younger and still in 5th grade?
Yeah.
I suppose my daughter isn't the tallest girl, and one could say she's a late bloomer, but she's normally wearing her school's soccer uniform when she comes home from school. Did you not see that it was for her middle school?
I'm never home in the afternoon, so I only see her when she's going to school in the morning.
Is that so? Understood then.
But, Bo, I'm not kidding when I say that your wife had been having relations with my husband.
Is that something that's still going on currently?
Yes! Half a year ago, when my family moved into this building, they got back together and have been having an affair ever since. I made a mistake about who Abby's real father was and all that, but I know for a fact that my husband is cheating on me with your wife.
And do you have evidence of this?
I've seen them together plenty of times now. They both come out of the office building over by Hartford Station, and it's during the middle of the day when they should still be inside working.
How often are they doing such a thing?
At least twice a week. And the rest of the time they're together is after work or at work outings when they have to stay late.
That's very strange, Rebecca.
How is any of that strange?
Because my wife is currently working at an accounting office right down the street from this apartment complex.
Huh?
She's currently working as a part of the company's management and has been there for some time. So I'm not sure that she's making the 45-minute trip all the way out to Hartford Station to see your husband twice a week.
What? Oh, you're kidding me.
Rebecca.
What?
Actually, my wife's cousin happens to work out over in that area and can be seen going to and from that station quite a lot.
Cousin?
Here's something that you might benefit from hearing about that cousin. She happens to share a lot of the same features as my wife and will sometimes be misidentified as my wife when going out around this part of the city. So I think you made the same mistake.
Are you serious? I can't believe I got your wife mixed up with her.
Now listen, Rebecca. There's something else. You are also cheating currently, aren't you?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about now?
You are going out with the store manager of the store you work at part-time, and that daughter of yours you had a little while back happens to be that store manager's daughter.
Wait, what?
The fact that you were going off on my family and me for something that wasn't even happening, all while your situation is one and the same to what you thought was going on here? I don't care if you made a mistake and became confused about us. In the position you're in, there's no reason for my wife to be punched by a hypocrite.
Who the hell are you? How do you know about all of that?
This was the outcome of what an investigator found out for your husband, who asked him to look into you.
Huh? An investigator?
As a matter of fact, during that same time you went and punched my wife in the face for no reason at all, I got a call from your husband about all of this. He told me all sorts of things about you after he learned from the investigator. Also, your husband and my wife's cousin happen to both work for that same company, yes, but they're never doing anything besides taking their lunch break at the same time and talking business.
What?
And if you'd like evidence of that, you can ask their company for the security gate records of when they go in and out of the building and see it lining up with their lunch. And if that's not enough for you, the company also has all the records of the projects they've had to work on together, and that some of those projects require them to stay late after work and get them done. So, your husband has not been cheating on you yet, Rebecca. You claimed they were cheating just because you saw them together, and you went around saying that to everyone, right? Of course, while you'd say that, you'd also go on about how if your husband was going to cheat, you'd do the exact same thing. And that's why you've started to have an affair with the store manager.
What? Wait, huh?
There was a lot of information in all of what I just said, so I can understand you not taking in everything all at once. But I'll make things simple for you now. 1, besides you and your store manager, nobody else is having an affair. 2, you just committed a crime in all your confusion. There you go.
No way.
Take a few more reads through all of this so that you can get a good understanding of what all has happened, please.
Do you think you can just say things like that to me? After hearing about you saying I've committed a crime by hitting your wife and your lies about me having an affair with my store manager, my brother and his gang will not leave you alone.
Is that so? Well, I'm aware that you're the little sister of Jacob Roberts, who was the leader of the street gang Heaven's Demons, right?
Huh? Heaven's Demons?
Go let him know not to do a thing after this, unless he's willing to have all of those things from his past brought back up and then face his rival street gang.
What? Are you talking about Satan's Angels? The gang that's insanely strong now?
In the past they were.
I'm so sorry.
The next day, Rebecca's husband got a divorce from her, and that's also when her husband found out the daughter she had wasn't his. And so he had the both of them leave his apartment together and told her to never bring that child back to him. I was coming back home right as she was being kicked out, and when our eyes met, she screamed her head off before taking her daughter and sprinting out of the building. How rude. Rebecca would later be asked to pay a large settlement in the divorce since she had cheated and had a child with another man and would have to do so in one lump payment. She tried to get some form of child support from her husband in the divorce, though, but once again, the child was not her husband's, and so his lawyer told her there was nothing she could do about that. That settlement in the divorce wasn't going to be the only thing Rebecca had to pay, though, as my wife also got a settlement from her for being assaulted, and that had to be paid in one lump payment as well. This settlement turned out to be even larger than the one her husband had asked for, since she'd be paying for all the medical bills my wife received for not only stitching up the inside of her mouth, but for the pain medication she'd be on after having her cheekbone fractured. It only took a few days after the court ruling, and all that money my wife had asked for was paid. My wife and daughter both said she was being very quiet and smart now by paying that settlement without fighting back at all. And I said that it's almost like she'd learned her place after our talk, all while laughing. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.